Hey folks, it's Tom, your FrugalPrepper. Today I want to talk about this balanced diet that I keep hearing in the comments on my videos over and over again. But you need to eat a balanced diet, a balanced diet. So for those of you who are maybe seeing this video for the first time, I want to talk about my keto carnivore journey and my journey back to a healthy person. I used to weigh 458 pounds. I was on 300 plus units of insulin per day, plus metformin. My last A1C was in the 14s. My highest A1C ever was in the 17s. I had a knee that needed replacement, but they wouldn't do it because I had so many diabetic leg ulcers that wouldn't heal. I had diabetic retinopathy and then later macular edema and macular degeneration. I had to get these really expensive $2,000 eye shots every month in every other eye. And they were burning my retinas with lasers to try to stop the bleeding. I had a torn rotator cuff that also needed surgery. I had the early stages of gout and arthritis in my feet and my toe joints. I had extremely high blood pressure. I was 250 to 280 systolic on 5 blood pressure medications. I had all kinds of doctors and nutritionists and surgeons and specialists and ologists. And I felt like crap. Everything always hurt. I started the keto diet 5 years ago. I'm now primarily carnivore. Today, I've lost over 200 pounds and I feel better than I did when I was 20. Nothing hurts. I have no leg ulcers. My knee healed and feels fine. My shoulder healed and feels fine. I'm on no medications. I have no doctor because he dropped me for being a non-compliant patient. So I want to say at the beginning of this video, I'm not a doctor. I'm a network engineer and a mechanic, and that means I actually have to fix things for a living, unlike a doctor who does a bunch of tests and charges you a bunch of money but doesn't actually fix anything. So don't take this as medical advice. This video is just based on my experience. It's for entertainment only. And if you have any of these medical conditions that I talk about, you should go see a doctor. So a lot of people show up in my comments and they talk about how you need to have a balanced diet to be healthy. You can never be healthy just on meat. They're wrong. They're still hung up on calories and nutrition and vitamins and all that stuff that doctors say. Like, oh, eat your leafy green vegetables and get all your stuff. You get all your vitamins and minerals because meat's bad. It has nothing in it and it'll cause cancer, right? And they're still buying into that myth. A lot of those people haven't ever been as sick as I was, and they haven't ever had to have their body heal in that way. And until you've been that sick, you can't possibly understand what that's like. So the first thing you have to understand is that calories don't matter. They're a myth. They're not related to anything that you eat or put in your body. It's not about calories. I eat more fat and more calories now than I ever did before. And yet I've lost 200 pounds. Calories only matter if you're burning your food to stay warm in the winter, right? Because that's what they're based off on, is burning food with a flame. Your body doesn't burn your food with a flame. It breaks it down through many different biochemical processes or whatever, and it uses different types of food that you eat in very different ways. It's not based on calories. Your health primarily is about the type of food that you eat. I really think I've been watching some of Dr. Paul Saladino's videos, and I really think he's onto something. So let's talk about Dr. Walter Kemper. A long time ago, like in 1939 or whatever, he took people with high blood pressure, that were obese, that had diabetes, heart failure, kidney failure, eye failure, and he put them on a diet of like 98% white rice with some sugar and some fruit and fruit juices. And that was all they had. And he expected that would make their diabetes worse. And we're talking about type 2 diabetics. In my videos, I'm always talking about type 2s, not type 1s. That's a different disease. And what he found out was, like, it cured their high blood pressure. It cured their diabetes. It cured their heart failure, their kidney failure, and their eye damage. And this is a very good study. And actually, Dr. Kemper did not expect this to work. And it worked. He was really surprised by the results. Well, my keto carnivore diet has cured my diabetes. It's cured my obesity. I mean, I'm still technically obese, but not for much longer. I'm no longer morbidly obese. And I'm a big guy with a lot of muscle. This is all solid muscle up here. So I'm going to be heavier, right? But my high blood pressure is gone. It stopped my eye damage from getting any worse and has made it a little better. It's basically made me healthy. It's healed my body. So how come they ate rice and carbohydrates and they cured themselves, and I ate meat and saturated fat and I cured myself? What do these two things have in common? I know it's easy to look at people like Paul Saladino and these other studies and just kind of ignore them, like, nope, sugar's evil. Sugar is evil. And you get into that when you get on carnivore or a clean keto, thinking sugar's evil, carbohydrates are evil, bad, right? Because you're trying to get off of them, right? And so what do these have in common? First, the biggest number one thing that they have in common is they don't have seed oils. There's no high fructose corn syrup in them. And neither one has a bunch of leafy green vegetables. And there's no refined or processed foods with strange preservatives and additives in them. So let's go into that first one, seed oils. Seed oils are the root of insulin resistance and heart disease. The more I learn about linoleic acid coming from the seed oils and poisoning the cell membranes and poisoning the mitochondria of the cells, the more I'm learning that this is what's causing so many of these problems. This is at the root of it. There is a good link I'll put down below that shows lots of graphs on our consumption of seed oil and our increase in heart disease. And they're talking about heart disease, not necessarily insulin resistance, but it's a pretty direct correlation. Now, that doesn't mean that that's necessarily the cause, but that's a pretty significant thing to look at. But no one wants to admit this because seed oils are used in a lot of food by a lot of food companies, a lot of people making lots of money. And they don't want you to know that canola oil is killing you, not helping you. Canola oil should have a picture of a broken heart on it, not a circle with the healthy heart logo. Right? So high fructose corn syrup is a big part of this modern obesity epidemic that we've been going through for the last 20 or 30 years. More people are overweight now than not overweight, and it's just getting crazy. So fructose, you have to store that as fat before your body can use it, unlike glucose, which you can just burn in your regular cells, and then what's left over gets stored as fat. Fructose has to become fat first. So high fructose corn syrup is in everything. They put it in bread now. They just put it in everything and use it as a sweetener because it's cheaper than table sugar, and it's just way overused. And so you look at, like, in the 70s and the early 80s, they put real sugar in Coca-Cola. Today it's high fructose corn syrup, right? So this is more fructose than you would ever get from eating natural whole foods when they're in season, right? what you've done throughout your whole ancestry. It's way more fructose than that. And your body likes fructose because it helps it gain weight to get through the winter or whatever hard times are coming, but you're not meant to be eating it every day. It drives the inflammation, and it increases the glycation of cells and LDL in your body. It makes the healthy large LDL that's the great repairer of the body and the great creator of cells and hormones. All right, every hormone in your body uses cholesterol as a base molecule. Every cell is created from cholesterol. 98% of the cells in your body make cholesterol. Cholesterol is a great thing. It's a great repairer of the body, and it gets transmitted around your body on these very large LDLs. And high fructose corn syrup, fructose in general, causes overglycation of those LDLs. It breaks them down. The liver can't reprocess them. The only way your body normally gets rid of them is it calcifies them and sticks them to your arteries, right, or somewhere in the body. And you know, I can't say for sure, but I have a feeling if you did a good scientific study, you would find out that statins don't get rid of the bad LDLs; they get rid of the good ones. You know, we know that fructose contributes and causes fatty liver disease, obesity. It increases your risk of diabetes. So that's a big thing. Now, the leafy greens. Green leaves on plants do not want to be eaten. They're part of the plant that makes it grow and flower and produce seeds so that it can reproduce. They don't want to be eaten. Broccoli, cauliflower, those things are the flowers of the plant. They do not want to be eaten. We eat them before they even produce any seeds, before they even flower. And these are really pretty toxic for you. And most of the nutrients in that stuff is not bioavailable. This is why they taste like crap if you don't cover them up in dressing or cook them till they're mushy and put lots of butter and salt on them. It's because you're not supposed to eat them. If you go and pick some leaves of spinach out of the garden and stick it in your mouth and you're like, oh, that's kind of nasty. Yeah. So you have to put it in a salad and cover it with a bunch of ranch dressing in order to eat it. It's not the spinach that tastes good, it's the ranch dressing. They're high in oxalates. Oxalates bind to calcium and they cause kidney stones and all kinds of problems like that. So oxalates are really bad and inflammatory for you too. But when you come across a ripe raspberry or strawberry or a ripe squash or some type of a ripe fruit, it's not as high in oxalates, right? Those nutrients are more bioavailable. Why? Why are they better to eat? Why do they taste good? Why are they more bioavailable? Well, because they want you to eat them and take those seeds and either swallow the seeds or take it with you and throw the seeds out somewhere. And that's how they reproduce. That's how they keep growing in different places. You poop out the seeds and a plant grows there. So that's the part that they need humans for, and that's why they make the food taste good, make it nutrient dense, they make it delicious, and it tastes good to you. Now, you're not supposed to eat that stuff all year long, right? Ancestrally, we only ate fruits and berries when they were ripe and available, and same with the vegetables and stuff like that. So only once in a while. And the fructose in, say, an orange is going to help you pack on some extra pounds, but oranges, you know, will help you get through a winter or a bad hunting season. That's the way our bodies are. They're designed to, our bodies can run on many different types of fuel and very healthily, right? And we don't have to eat a little bit of this and a little bit of leafy greens, a little bit of fruit and a little bit of dairy and a little bit of meat. We can survive on one or two of those things perfectly fine. But when we start throwing in refined seed oils, high processed carbohydrate foods, bunch of preservatives, and all this other crap, it makes us sick. So what's the easiest way to cure your diseased body? So you could go on this rice only diet. It would be really hard, right? But the fastest and easiest way to cure yourself, to get back to being healthy, is to go on either a clean keto or a carnivore diet. And that carnivore could be lion diet, or it could be any kind of meat. It could include cheese and eggs. It doesn't really matter. You need to find out things that might be more, make you feel worse, not heal as fast, and eliminate those. But you can do a clean keto, or you can do a carnivore diet. I really don't think it matters that much which you choose. I will say carnivore works faster, right? And more red meat than anything else works better and faster. Eggs work better and faster than a keto diet where you're eating broccoli, right? I'm going to say stay away from the leafy green vegetables and the green vegetables that are high in oxalates on a clean keto if you want to go keto. You will get rid of the seed oils and fructose. Your insulin resistance will start to go away. But before that, you're eating low carbohydrates, so you're not making a bunch of sugar that your insulin resistant cells can't come out to. So it's going to improve your diabetes, right? And then as the seed oils start to get out of your body and you start to heal and you start to get healthier, your diabetes will truly just go away. To where now, the other day I ate 2 potatoes that I grew on the front porch myself, a big double handful of raspberries that I grew on my back bush. I had a chocolate chip cookie that my wife made, and it was delicious. And my blood sugar, the highest reading was 113, and then in 3 hours it was back down to 98. And I took it every half hour. So back in the day, if I would have ate that, my blood sugar would have been over 300, on 300 units of insulin per day. So the carnivore keto is the fastest way to heal and cure your body. Yes, you can stay eating like that forever. It's not a problem. You'll get everything that you need from it, and you will be able to live. But you will eventually get back to the point where you can eat some clean carbohydrates, not processed food, not Lucky Charms, right? But you will be able to eat some potatoes or some rice or something like that, and it won't affect you. But primarily, you're going to want to make that very, you're going to have a tendency to become sick and diabetic again easier, so you're going to have to limit that. But yeah, you can. I think that the keto carnivore diet really helps you get back into shape and get your body to heal. But you've been, I was sick for more than 20 years, of diabetes. And my body's always going to have a tendency to move back there quicker than someone who's been thin and healthy their whole life. So I have to do those things very rarely. We're talking months and months apart. But occasionally I do. And I'm not pure carnivore. I still have pickles. I still have some onions. I still have some peppers once in a while. I have some olives every now and then. So I do eat some other things than meat. But it's a 98% meat, and I will say 90% of that is beef, because when I said 98% beef, I forgot about the eggs. And now I've got a lady that has her own backyard chickens, and she's giving me eggs, and so I'm increasing my eggs because those eggs are delicious. Anyway, that's all I got for now. I'll talk to you all later. Just consider that a lot of times you hear really hardcore carnivore people like, only eat meat, and you hear really hardcore vegans, only eat vegetables. And the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. But it is definitely no seed oils. Seed oils are bad, and I believe really that they are the root cause of so many of our diseases. I am no longer going blind because I eliminated seed oils from my diet. So that's all I got, folks. Be happy, be frugal, stay healthy.